One thing that I wonder about with the deep roads is if that's the main quest thing, um, part of the game. I mean, you work up all of these side quests to get to the deep roads. Then what? What comes after the deep roads? You know? So I'm wondering about that. I realize that there's a sort of like a Big Bang ending, but I do wonder about what's in between. And I can't help it. I'm looking for this stupid herbalist task. Oh my god. Curse the person who didn't figure that out. I mean the developer who put something in the game that's not solving right. Ugh. I keep saying like in WoW or MMOs, I don't find myself to be as much of a completist anymore. I used to be. Well, in MMOs I tend to be because you get an achievement. Oh God help me if there's an achievement for getting all of the quests, solving them, and this herbalist task doesn't. Now I've probably damned myself. But like in WoW, I don't find myself, and now that I'm in Rift, I haven't even looked at the achievements. I've just been trying to slowly enjoy the game. But one thing that I noticed is that I waste a lot of time in that game. I was playing with a friend of mine, Marco, during the free Rift weekend. You could invite some friends, and he got a chance to play. Now, I had been playing before him, and he readily caught up to me in a very short span of like a day. And it wasn't until I was playing with him that I realized that I was leveling slow. So then I was wondering why that was. Why? Because usually I wouldn't say that I was very, very fast, but once I get my mojo on, I'm very focused. And I realized what it was. I'll go to an area, do start working on a quest, a rift will open up, and I'll start doing that, or I'll get distracted, and then here's the thing that slows me down. I go back to the quest giver, cock around in the city, turning in, turning in the quest, seeing if I can sell anything, that kind of thing. And by the time I actually, get back to focus of leveling, I've wasted a lot of time. So now that I've figured this out, I'm going to see if I actually change the way that I play now that I know this. Am I playing for fun or am I playing for efficiency? We shall see. Oh, I hate that. See that? See, there's a whole area back there and I can't get it. That's like a tease. That's like putting a steak in front of a starving person. Okay, let's see here. I've been giving some thought on what the romance will be for Synnistry, and I'm stuck between Isabella and Fenris, and I shall tell you why. I think, well, okay, with Meryl, she's a blood mage, and with Bethany being, resisting temptation and whatnot, although we don't see it, she obviously does it. So I think that would be a complete disrespect to not only Bethany, but all of the magic, in my bloodline. So, and I completely think she's delusional with the "I have it under control" thing. So, no, I'm not feeling that one. Then there's Anders. Anders is too pro mage for me. Although I think that love wise, script wise, he's probably the closest one to Alistar, who I absolutely adored in Origins. And my gut instinct was to go with that, but sometimes I have to kill up mages. It is what it is. And he gets pissed at me every time I do it. So, I just don't see that working out. And, okay, then there's Isabella and Fenris. And I think those two are, relationship wise, the most changing, because they're both ones to keep people away for whatever reasons. They don't let people get close to them. So if they were to accept love, that's like a really huge change to their personality. So whereas with Fenris, or not Fenris, with Anders, it was more so like, well, I never thought that, a woman could love me because of justice, kind of thing. So I love the dialogue. I can see the dialogue with Anders being very similar to Alistar, who I absolutely adored in Origins. I can't say that enough. I love him. And if there was a clear Alistar type character with that true heart, well, he was technically virginal, adoration, I would probably pick that one, but there isn't one in this game that I've found yet. So I'm leaning towards Fenris, and then second Isabella for that reason, because she's the kind that just, she gets on a ship and leaves, and then she steals, and then she gets on a ship and leaves, and then that's another thing. With her theft, she doesn't do. Synnistry does something bad for a good purpose, and Isabella just steals because that's her job, sort of thing. So Fenris seems to be more in character ethically. I mean, I can understand why he dislikes mages because of where he lived. And he doesn't seem to get mad at me if I help. Like, if I help the Templars, I think it was like Varric was the one that had the relationship upwards, but he didn't have one downwards. So he seems more chill. So I'm going to go with Fenris, I think. I don't know why I keep wanting to call him Ferris or Farriers. I know why fairies are on my mind, because I was playing Rift, and I'm debating about playing. I've changed my souls a bit. I'm still heavily Inquisitor, but I've switched it with Warden and Justicar. And as online MMOs do, they change the dynamic of how your character plays. And in the Justicar tree, they took away one of my favorite abilities, which was Reparation, I think it was called, where you can use a melee attack and regain mana. They switched it to some kind of party buff. So now I'm thinking about doing Druid, because I technically could go pretty far up the Druid tree. I want to see if I can get that Druid pet, because that Satyr, or whatever you call it, is the bomb. He just looks like the awesome. So we'll see. I want to do AoE grinding, and that Oblivion 31 point ability in the Inquisitor tree is pretty awesome too. So yeah, still not very far with my leveling, though. We gotta work on that. I am so tired of seeing the same areas. Ugh. Rush games for the lose. Hmm. Okay. And there's nothing here. Okay. Now, because life's a bitch and Murphy's Law loves to screw with me when I say venture forward, that little arrow's gonna be there. I hate you. Just hate you. Hate you. Thoroughly and completely. I hate you right now, Dragon Age.